Hi, welcome to Wednesday's Words of Worship. I'm Kevin. In some of these recent videos, we've mentioned how crazy and upside down things appear in our world today. And almost on a daily basis, we experience deception and deceit by leaders. We can't trust the honesty and objectivity of our journalist media. And we're told to be tolerant, which is often a smokescreen for people not wanting to change or accept God's commands. And we're told that truth is relative. We want self-sufficiency. We're filled with pride, and we demand that others respect the rights that our egos and our laziness think we deserve. Now, the prophet Jeremiah faced the same kind of conditions in his day. The Israelites became rebellious, wicked, evil, prideful, and abandoned truth. And God was angered and was going to bring judgment on his people. And he wanted to use Jeremiah to warn them. But in addition to the evil that they were perpetuating, false teachers and false prophets were telling the people that God was okay with what they were doing. Their message to the people was, all is well, peace and peace, all is well. But God's truth was a different message, and he told Jeremiah to warn the people of his judgment if they didn't change their evil ways and return to obedience to him. But why would people want to listen to Jeremiah's message of looming destruction when they could fill their ears with the happy message of all is well and peace? Jeremiah's warning to his people was contrary to what they wanted to hear. They accepted instead the message of the false prophets. They wanted to remain in their accepted evil practices and continue to embrace their message of tolerance. But God needed someone to tell his people the truth, and he told Jeremiah to do it. We've arrived at a point in our society where God's truth is declared no longer relevant. Deceptions abound, and we only want to hear things that feed our ego and our self-sufficiency. And in the midst of their cries of tolerance, the tolerant reveal their own intolerance for anyone or anything that differs from their view. Some pastors, religious leaders, Christian institutions of higher education have compromised the truth of the gospel for a message that is more palatable to our self-gratifying ears. So what's the point of all this doom and gloom? Well, first, Jeremiah was given a difficult task to state the truth amid all the false chaos. Can you imagine how daunting that would have been? But he did it. He remained faithful to God's assignment. And second, truth doesn't change just because you don't believe it. There is still only one way to escape the judgment of God, and that is through Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through him. So be a Jeremiah. Stand firm in this truth-impaired society and don't fall for the false promise of secular prophets. God will judge us one day, and when he does, no message from a false prophet, no excuse, no apology will be able to exempt you from the consequence God has warned us of. Accept the truth of the gospel this day and live like Jeremiah. Hey, thanks for listening, and I hope to see you again next week.